trick that I'll share with you. I can choose a better way with every little thought I think. If I wake up with a bad attitude, I fill my mind with gratitude. I give thanks for everything with every little thought I think. I can choose to be happy, choose to be free, moment by moment. It's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think.
Hello and welcome. I am so glad you're here. I'm Beth, a creator-based coach with CMH Coaching for Life. I'm here today to help you and those you love create a life you feel grounded and at home in. Think of a life where you feel peace, love for those around you, and in a flow with just enough challenge to keep you happy and creating something wonderful. Sounds like magic, but it's not. You can create that life every single day. You can have a life full of love, excitement, hope, and creation. Our mission at CMH Coaching is to flood the earth with light through compassion, mindfulness, and hope. And I'm going to ask a favor of you. If you like what you see and hear today, think of someone you know that would enjoy and benefit from this message. Our mission is to flood the world with compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Share this with them. But for now, this is time just for you. So settle into whatever you're doing and enjoy this time with the girls, where we create that one awesome, amazing, perfect life every one of us is seeking.
What you thinking? What you thinking? What you thinking? What you thinking? You gotta watch your thinking. Watch your thinking. Watch your thinking.
There we go. Get the stuff out of my throat. Welcome to A Creator-Based Life, the podcast for CMH Coaching for Life, and all good things for your coming week. We are excited that you're here. We're excited to be able to talk about this idea of blessing the space between us. We hope that you enjoyed the Monday morning inspiration and that brought you here, because that was kind of a unique situation to write that and have it go 3/4 of the way through and then not have any kind of tips and tricks show up, but just the come to the podcast and let's talk at the podcast for a little while.
I
So
thought that was new and different. Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
It is a very different thing. And so, can you hear that?
What was that?
It was music that randomly turned on my phone.
Was it good?
Call Me Maybe.
Oh, I do like that.
Now, why my phone is playing Call Me Maybe, I don't know, but maybe that's another one. That was so weird. I don't know. They got a mind of their own, but maybe there's a sign in it. Who knows? Either way, y'all, I'm here with Jacine and with Jen. You guys know all three of us. Jacine Bonnet,
Yes.
a great creator-based coach and a business coach. Jennifer Drews, a great hypnotherapist and a creator-based coach. And me, Beth Bitsane Brooks, the author and creator of The Creator-Based Way. So we're here to talk about how to bless the space between us. And I brought my book because this is kind of what got it started. If you guys can see, this is John O'Donnell's book. And it's, Jen's got it too.
Twinners.
Yeah, great book. Just a great book. And I wanted to share a poem with you, just the first part of the poem. Jen, it's on page 7, if you want to follow along.
Which one is it?
Page 7, Beginnings. As we begin, I'm just going to read the first stanza, but you'll understand why I'm in love with him when you hear the way he writes his poetry. And then we'll get started on blessing the space, because all of this is blessing the space between us. In the first stanza of this chapter on beginnings, it's called Matins, and it starts out somewhere out in the edges. The night is turning and the waves of darkness begin to brighten the shore of dawn. The heavy dark falls back to earth and the freed air goes wild with light. The heart fills with fresh, bright breath, and thoughts stir to give birth to color.
Mm.
He is just so gifted. That beautiful, beautiful imagery. I mean, my heart, my
I can,
mind
I
just,
was closing my eyes when you were reading it because
yes,
I could picture
my
it.
heart fills with
Right.
fresh, bright breath, and thoughts stir to give birth to color. It is
Mm.
amazing. He's got 4 or 5 stanzas in this, but it is so lovely. And this is a book of blessings.
Mm.
That's why it's called To Bless the Space Between Us. He's from Ireland. If you ever have an opportunity to listen to him read his poetry, it really is music to hear
Uh,
his, his
is
Irish
he on
brogue.
YouTube? I'm sorry.
I don't know. I listened to him with
Okay.
Krista Tippett on Being,
Okay.
but he's just a gifted, beautiful writer, and he's all about peace. But this idea, there's a book in here for one who is exhausted. And there was a period of time 2, 3 years ago when we were in the middle of the reno. We were still really
Mm.
actively grieving. We were trying to figure out how to negotiate this new phase of life. And that poem came up. And I came across it again a couple of weeks ago and remembered just how beautiful it is. It just gives permission to just take time for yourself and recover. And so I ordered the book because if that poem was good, well, of course, the other poems are going to be good.
Right.
But I never really considered this idea of blessing the space between us. And so I just really wanted to talk about it today because there are so many different ways we can intentionally create a space that will bless a relationship or that will bless us in growth in some challenge, or that will bless my thinking is a difficult coworker. To
Mm.
bless the
Yeah.
space between you and a difficult coworker, or to bless the space between you and a husband who's just struggling that day, or to bless the space, just in some way, thinking how we could bring that, how we could do it. And so the first thing for me is it starts with me. I can't bless anybody if I'm in a foul temper and totally self-centered, right? So for me, I look at we have the creator-centered life where it's centered on our creator. Oh, hey, I like that it zooms
Hi.
in.
Yeah, it zoomed in on
All of the arrows go out and they're arrows of mindfulness and hope and service because we're not focused on ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Focused on our creator and on creating with our creator. And then that's the first circle. And then the other circle is centered. It's centered on self. So another
Self-centered.
circle with the word self in the middle. And I know for a fact, because I'll tell you guys, an hour ago, I had a mean headache and I had to do some herbs and some breathing and get rid of it. And I was very centered on self. And that was selfishness and irritation and grumpies, because I couldn't see past this little circle for myself. Everything was pointing in. And in order to bless the space between me and somebody else, I clearly have to have outward energy. And to have outward energy, I have to have peace in my inward energy.
Right. And focused on your creator.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So that was because I was pondering and I don't know how to teach how to, intentionally change the energy of a space between us. But the very first thing is energy of my creator in my life, coming into balance with him, and then allowing that energy to begin to radiate out from me.
Man, we need this in the world today.
We do.
We do. We need that in the world today. And if we can figure it out, and if we can, as a group, all y'all who are listening with us, we're inviting you to practice.
Yes, this is new territory for us.
Yeah, share. This is a new thought. This is a new idea to
But it
explore.
feels so good to just think about, I can intentionally bless the space between me and so and so.
Mm-hmm.
What if I could intentionally bless the space between me and California traffic.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know, it may be
It's a
just
beautiful
all
thing.
of those people involved.
Yeah.
So what are you
Which
thinking?
I experienced that
Okay, tell me about that.
when I was on a business trip last year. Um, it because they had the PCH Pacific Coast Highway closed because of the fires in early 2025. It burned the highway. I mean, it was
Oh, wow,
horrific. So
that
they
must have
had
been scary.
Oh, so they had that highway closed. So everyone was traveling the other highway. I think it's 30. Forgive me if I have that wrong, guys, but my daughter
Right.
lives in
Tell us.
Oxnard or Ventura-ish area, and I was traveling from there to LA um, every day that week. And
And sitting
it,
in that traffic.
sitting in the traffic, like a from her place to my first clinic normally would be 45 minutes, maybe an hour to an hour and a half if there was traffic or something.
Right.
Honestly, it was 3.5 hours that morning to get there.
3.5 hours you sat in traffic.
Mhm. Yeah, we all
Wow.
did, everybody. And so as I was sitting in this traffic, knowing, and I'm gonna just say it, like this space, right? I have
It
this
is. It's
space.
energetic
Yeah,
space
I have
around
this
us.
space in my car, right? I don't have control over the car next to me or in front of me or anywhere else, right? I have zero control over the traffic, but I had control over the space inside my car. And I thought to myself, why can't I make this a sacred space? Why can't I invite my creator to like sit here in the front seat with me? What would
Oh,
we talk
wow.
about? What would we talk about? What would he show me? What am I not seeing that I could possibly see in this time? And so it became a time of it was a sacred time. That 3.5 hours I got to the clinic. I wasn't uptight. It was, I was calm. I knew it was the way it needed to be. And I saw things because usually when you're going down the highway, you're zooming, right? I saw
Right.
things that I had never seen before along the highway. And it was a blessed space, right? It was a blessed space. I wasn't angry, which is a lot of my frustrations are in driving.
Right.
But it,
You're,
so I
people are in your way and you're getting impatient and
Yeah, yeah. And I deserve to be first.
Mhm.
Like, how dare they? Like, really? So, yeah, that's
So
interesting to
how did you do
remember
that?
that.
How did you intentionally create the space in your car?
It was knowing that first of all, acknowledging, okay, I don't have control of the situation,
Uh-huh.
right? I have a choice. I have a choice here. I can be angry. I can try and move up one car at a time. I can, you know, whatever, whatever. Or I can relax into it and accept what is, and then invite my
Create.
creator. Yeah, like create. What can I do where this isn't going to be so horrible? It's not going to be a horrible experience, but it was a choice. It was in choosing. First, recognizing that I had the power to choose,
Hmm.
and then secondly, inviting my savior into that space with
Your
me.
space.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And
then staying focused there,
yeah,
focused on him
yeah.
as
And
you're with him.
just listening, listening. Oh, hey, look over there. Have you ever seen that? No. Wow.
Oh,
Right?
how cool is
Look at
that?
those colors after the fire. Wow. Oh, wow. Right? So there was just so much awareness and presence, right?
Presence. Ooh, I love that.
Awareness and presence. And it was in my sacred space.
I love that.
I what's coming to my mind, JC, when you're talking about this is I like, like first of all, you had the ability to choose. We all can choose how we want to show up in the space
Yeah.
between
Yeah.
us, whatever's going on. So I was
Hmm.
thinking about like that relationship that you're having with what is happening.
Hmm.
And I don't know, I was kind of like thinking about the words like blessing the space between us. You put out positivity, you put out like this is just what it is, instead of
Yes.
getting angry and lashing out, which could be a cursing the space between you.
When you're
Oh,
holding on to those angry, just
Or
ruminating, oh,
or
they
not even
did this
holding
to
on,
me.
swearing at people, getting angry, putting that energy out into the space.
Oh
how
yeah,
dare you
no.
cut me
Yeah.
off?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You need to go faster. Why don't you close up the gap? That type of thing.
Yes, close that gap, for
Yeah.
goodness sakes. Look, do you see that?
Yeah. Where do you think you are trying to get in front of me? We're all stopped here. So it's like I was
Yes.
thinking about that, the energy that was coming from you into the situation. And it was a
Mhm.
blessing. It was a
Yeah,
positive, like I want to change this experience that I'm having instead of cursing and creating the tension out there
right.
in this situation. I thought that was kind of interesting.
I love that.
I
Okay,
like
so
that.
first is coming back to ourselves, right?
Mhm.
Realizing that we can choose. And then second, making a deliberate choice to focus on our creator. And then third is to remain present.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So as we remain present, I would imagine we would be tugged off in different directions.
Especially
How
for
did
3 hours.
Yes,
Right, right.
especially for the
Yeah.
hours. I'm sure it made you late for your appointment, and there
Oh,
were things with
100%.
that. So,
Yes.
how do we come back when we get tugged off in those directions as we're deliberately creating a blessing, the space between us?
Mm,
How do you do that? For me, I have to go back to because I'll get tugged off and I'll move back into victim
yeah.
or or persecutor in the
Yeah.
case it's late. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and I'll need to bring myself back to creator. And it's kind of an ongoing, like almost a sway. I'm doing
Course
what I know
correction.
in
It's a course
creator and a
correction.
course correction, like the
Yeah,
airplane
a course
course
correction.
correction. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I use a phrase. I use a phrase that that I've actually used on my husband before, and it stops him. And he's like, "Yeah, that's true." I use a phrase that say, "I'm just not being my best self right now."
Oh, how lovely. That's very loving and forgiving.
Letting myself call out my behavior and just
Yeah.
knowing that I
Yeah.
could be better. And so there are times when I have done something and my husband looks like ready to like pounce on me or like engaged, and I'll be like, "Wait a minute, I'm just not being my best self right now." And
Just
it shuts him down. He's like confused. He's like, "Well, no, you're not." But it gives us an opportunity to like kind of diffuse the
regroup.
situation, yeah, and regroup.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I have said that a lot to myself, like, "Oh, Jen, you didn't show up as your best self. Let's reel it in."
Well, so that's both loving and humble.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that the willingness to say and to just say, I'm not my best self. I'm just not. It's very human, right?
Well, I think it goes to your like permission to be human.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It really is and it's very compassionate for yourself to own that as well. I'm just a
And I
human
roll
being.
my eyes, so that's maybe not as compassionate, but oh.
There's that. But
Just
yeah.
having an off day. Just
Yeah.
having an off day. Or
Mm.
for me, a lot of times if Troy and I are starting to get into it, I'll just go, I'm just tired. Let's just
Which is true.
revisit this.
Yeah.
I'm just, my endurance isn't there, my patience isn't there.
No.
I'm tired.
No.
And so can we revisit this when I'm in a better
Yeah.
space?
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
not trying to ignore or put you
No,
off.
and I'm not trying to be dismissive
Not
or
going to go
discount or
well.
whatever. I just need a break. It's not about you. Because
Yeah.
it's just what it is. Okay. So clearly you blessed the space between you and the traffic.
Yeah.
Let's try another one. Let's just do one with a personal relationship. It might be a work relationship or a relationship in your home or with a volunteer situation, but you're working with somebody who's just proud. They're always right. No matter whatever you say, they're right. And there's a reason when you say something that it's wrong.
Oh,
And they don't mean badly. They don't mean bad. I mean, I've worked with a lot of people like this where you just have to
me
kind of
too.
take a step back and let them be them. But how do you bless the space? Because for me, after I've heard the fourth or fifth time why my idea is not going to work or why it's not as good as whatever this next thing is, I
Yeah.
start to get a little discouraged and not want to give any more. But I want to bless that space so that ideas are flowing. And so things are changing and we're getting to have, we're having success. What would you
Mm.
do in a conversation like that?
Well, I like how you said you have to step back. I mean,
Mhm.
sometimes you do have to kind of leave the space a little bit because remember, relationships are a two-way street. It's the give
Yes.
and take, and if one
Whether it's
person is just
working or a
not,
personal relationship, it's still a relationship.
maybe you have to step back and let whatever be because a lot of times then maybe it's through failure or whatever they realize. Well, maybe I should have listened. I mean, I've done that before. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, well, maybe that was a good idea or whatever. But
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
then my
Mhm.
favorite step back is one, a drink of water
know.
because it shuts my mouth. It focuses on my body. Just because you're swallowing something, you're just back into your body just a little bit.
Mm. Yeah.
And so a drink of water, and then it leads me to a deep breath. And
Mm.
so that's my quickest. And I almost always there's a water bottle or there's something around, but that creates just a little bit of space for me
Mhm.
to
I
have it.
think I blessed the space in that situation by actually leaving because my face gives me away. Yeah.
What is your face saying, Jen?
Oh, exactly. My words are not matching my face. So
Yes, yes, that is
I've been
challenging.
told that. So I'd be like, okay, so maybe I do
Yeah.
need to step away to regroup.
Uh-huh.
And to me, that's a blessing the space because it's not going to be continually be tension and
Yeah.
an
That's
explosion.
broadcasting this angst.
Yeah.
Well, and we talked this morning about how we all, as human beings, seek unity,
Hmm.
that we came and belonging, unity and belonging. So if we're in a situation creating unity and belonging in some way, even if that means I'm putting up some kind of a barrier here,
Hmm.
to be able to stand as I am, my true self, in order to facilitate some kind of a unity feeling for me
Mm.
to be stronger is really worth it. Okay,
So
so let's,
I have a question. I have a question.
yeah.
Because I feel like you were just in my house for the past 2 hours. So, um, were you
Yes, no,
spying
it was
on
a
me?
close
Like, I just
call
need
this
to know.
morning. Yeah.
And it's not that I was the one that wasn't being heard. I was the person that
Wasn't hearing.
wasn't hearing. We have a situation with a couple of bathrooms. Long story
A
short,
remodel. Man,
a
there's nothing
kind
gets
of a
energy
remodel.
going like a
Yes,
remodel.
yes. And one of our bathrooms, we only had to remove four of the tiles to fix the dry rot and all that kind of stuff. But we can't find those tiles again.
Oh, no.
Mark drove 3 hours to Portland because Home Depot there said they had them, but they wouldn't ship them here. So he drove to go pick them up. When he showed up,
Yeah.
they were they weren't right. He had sent a picture, everything online. It was wrong. So
I can't imagine what he was
yeah.
like when he came back home again after
Oh,
that kind of a
he did
frustration.
he did really well. Like when he
Yeah.
came back, I mean, he was frustrated, but it was like, well, how can we make this work? And so um overnight, he had worked in his mind a process of how to patch things together and make it
Make
work.
do. Make
And
do.
it would work. Our
Yeah.
tile guy came in today and he said, I've been really mulling this over and I have this other idea. Why don't we intentionally, because it's where the toilet is and it's this perfect square,
Uh-huh.
why don't we make that a different space that matches, but in mosaics and make it really cool? And then we'll
Yeah.
just make the
Make
the
it an
backsplash.
intentional shift. Uh-huh.
And in my brain, because I can see it, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, 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 yes. Let's go that route.
Mhm.
But Mark had spent all this time
To
figuring
keep
out
things
how
consistent.
to, and so he was showing Don how it would work. And both Donna and I were on the same page. And so now there's this. So how do you go back to a person that you didn't intentionally, but as we're talking, thank you for this conversation, because as we're talking, I'm realizing that we shut him down
Yeah.
on his
Yeah.
creativity. He didn't
Inadvertently, it wasn't
acknowledge.
deliberate, you know.
No, no. I mean, his idea was a good idea and we could have made it work,
Yeah.
but the other one is so much, in my opinion,
Would be so
messier.
much more fun, right?
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. But it's more
Okay.
dollars too.
So bless the space between you, right? Bless
Yes.
the space between you. So for me, the first thing that I would do is go to my creator and ask for some help to bless that space
Mm-hmm.
and to get some ideas because as soon as we ask, he answers. We get the and it might be some weird random conversation to have. Something as off the wall as California traffic, just comes up.
Right.
But that's my first thought is I go to my creator because he knows how to speak peace.
Mm-hmm. He does.
Yeah. What do you
One
think,
of the things also that's been really helpful for me is if I've had that where it's like, I then realize after the fact that I may have been a little too much or offensive or whatever. I try not to be offensive.
Yeah.
You just never
Right.
know. And it usually shows up in the more intimate relationships I have, like with my husband.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, there is just a big lessening of tension and I guess that energy between us. If I just
Right.
say, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize.
Yes. Or
And
if I
Mm-hmm.
do say, I realized I probably was overbearing, or I
yeah,
Right.
realized I
Right.
didn't listen,
yeah.
Yeah.
and just, yeah, come back
It,
to that.
it's so with him, just that I am so sorry, like acknowledging and saying I'm so sorry, just takes the weight or the wind out of his sails. It's when I learned
Well,
that,
he
it's
just
like,
needs to feel
holy
heard.
cow,
You
yeah,
have to.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my favorite phrases that was spoken to me is, "Oh, I realize I've made you feel uncomfortable. I'm sorry."
Yeah.
It was
Oh.
just that simple. "Oh, I
Yeah.
realize I've made you feel uncomfortable. I'm sorry." And whether that was overbearing or assumption or whatever it was,
Yeah.
and I'm
Wasn't my
like, that
intent.
just put
Yeah.
me so at ease. "Oh, I realize I've made you feel uncomfortable. I'm sorry." And from
Mm.
there, we could talk about it. And that blessed the space for me. Really
Mm.
nice.
Yeah, I don't like to let those spaces fester, you know?
You want to clean them out. You want to
Right.
Yeah.
keep the space between you clean and
Mm.
know what the word is, but just not uncluttered, just clean
Right.
and fresh, like fresh spring breezes in that
Mm.
space all the time.
Like the sunrise in the poem,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, like
Like
the
that
sunrise.
morning. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
There's
start.
a Chinese story where they just had the plague. I was just listening to it this morning, in China back probably 3,000 years BC. And they had
Mhm.
had this big plague, killed everybody off. And the town leader was trying to figure out what he could do to help because people had all dropped like flies and now they had stuff left and they were trying to bring health back to the village. And he realized that water has to flow in order to stay clean and healthy. And that people have to flow like that because if people are stagnant, just like water, they get murky and green and
Mm.
gross.
Mm.
So to bless the space between them for their country, they implemented movement, physical movement to help the people to grow stronger. Not big movement, but just flowing like water, that people needed to flow like water. And so thinking about that energy between me and like my husband, what does it feel like when the energy between us flows like water? That feels really good.
Mm. It does.
Or
Yeah.
when the water is stagnant and won't move. So it makes me
Mhm.
wonder, what could I say or do to help things flow like water?
To unclog.
Yeah. Right.
Unclog the drain because
Yes. Yeah.
a clogged drain is
Yeah.
really stinky really fast.
Yeah.
Really fast. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
to
that.
bless the space between us.
Mm.
Yeah. Simple, practical ways. that we can do those. I think eating humble pie is a good one. I'm kind of used to eating humble pie. It's not as terrible as it used to be. Still not my favorite, but and small shifts for myself,
Mhm.
I recognize,
Yeah.
Lord, like Jen said, I'm not my best self right now.
Mhm.
Recognizing that, coming back, and focusing from the creator out instead
Mhm.
of from the world in, because it's all about me. We all know it's all about me anyway, but that doesn't make me happy. So it needs to focus out and
Right.
take care of the
Right.
people.
Mm.
Yeah. Let's talk just a little bit about the ripple theory. Jacine, tell us about ripples on the pond. And then let's
Mm.
talk just a little bit about blessing the space between us with the ripples.
Mm. So anytime, and I love watching water, the still water, right?
Mm. But
Even
not the
though
stuck water.
not the
Just,
stuck water, the still, like there's
yes.
times when it's still. Think about a lake in at the very early mornings, when there's nothing
Yes.
on there.
Just
And
before
you
the sun comes up
have
and the wind starts.
And you don't even, you could throw a stone in it, but if you look, it could be as tiny as a dragonfly landing on the water. It doesn't matter. It
Yeah.
will cause a ripple, right? And that ripple effect, it, the movement of that water, it spreads out, right? From
And I
one
love it spreads
thing.
out in circles,
Yeah, in
circle, circle,
circles.
circle,
Yeah,
circle, circle.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It keeps
And
its original shape.
right. And it's a wavelength. And we have ripple effects all day long, right? Based on what our thoughts are, what we say, what we speak, what we think, what we speak, what we feel. Those will cause a ripple effect because there's no way unless you're just and you don't talk to anybody, you just
Can't even
are holed
move.
up. Yeah, you are isolated. You are Tom Hanks on Castaway, and you are talking to Wilson the Ball, right?
There's no way you can't have a ripple effect.
Right, right. So uh, all day long, we have a ripple effect, but we get to choose what that ripple effect's going to look like.
Yes.
Is
You
it going
really
to go
can.
the way we want or the way we don't want? Yeah.
Yeah.
Will it be
And
a good ripple or will it be a destructive ripple? Like
Yes.
what
space.
is the energy in the ripple? Is it going to be building and
Yeah.
good or is it going to be destructive and negative? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What will it
Because
feel
both
like?
will continue to travel. I was thinking about this, like, if I have an interaction with my husband or something and he goes off in an angry mood, he's not going to be the nicest driver. And maybe he'll even
Right.
have like, he'll be short at work or something. So it can
Mhm.
ripple out
And it
that.
does. It continues to ripple out. It's miraculous, really, how quickly our behavior, for better or for worse, changes our world. And it extends so far out. It's really incredible, which
Mhm.
I think for me emphasizes the power of choice in my life. That if I choose to be in a creator-based place instead of a victim or a persecutor-based place, then I'm choosing to send that ripple, that beautiful light ripple out into the world, even if it's just I don't have the right ingredient for my dinner that night and I have to run into town,
Mhm.
just that interaction I might have with the checker, it makes a big difference. It just keeps rippling out.
Mhm.
And then it blesses the space between me and the checker and between the checker and their family or whomever they work with next.
Wow.
Pretty profound to bless the space between us. One more thing before we sign off, though. You have to take care of yourself. If you run yourself dry, you will never bless the space between anybody.
Mm.
And by your self-care, I mean, you brush your teeth every day, right? You're blessing, you're taking care of your body. You need to take care of your soul and take care of your own needs so that that goodness and that light of caring for yourself ripples out to the people around you. When you walk around feeling good because, like Jen and I were talking pedicures, because your toenails look good,
Yes.
You walk and you're just feeling good. People around you feel that. And it seems like such a selfish thing, but it is not selfish. Self-care is not selfish. It's service.
Right.
It really is. So
Mm.
scatter a little bit more sunshine, take care of yourself, make that space, be present, touch base with your creator, and bless the space between you and the people around you. You'll end up blessing your whole community.
Mm.
Well, one of the ways we do that is we keep our mind active, which involves book club.
Yes. Yes. Ooh,
About book club.
we're scattering sunshine talking about the music of bees by Eileen Garvin. And it really is a good and interesting story. Some of the language in it, because some of the characters are pretty rough around the edges and have lived a not so fun
Has
life.
it got some four-letter
So
words in it?
it's got some words in there that I normally would be like, no, I'm not going to continue. But
Mhm.
it was interesting as I was listening to it. I'm like, okay, this is a character. It's not the whole book.
When
It's
it's in context, it's easier
yeah,
to understand.
yeah. This Jake is pretty rough, but he's lived a really hard life, and he's only 19 years old, and he's in a wheelchair because of an accident that happened. He fell off of a deck at a party
Oh,
and ended
wow.
up, yeah. So dad is not part of his life. Well, he's in his life, but not very nice guy. So I'm giving Jake some grace. Jake in his language, I'm giving him some grace. Yeah.
That's right.
But
That's right.
but it's
He's not being his best self right now.
he's not being his
There you
best
go.
self right
And
now.
maybe as the book goes on, he will become.
Yes. Yeah, and we are starting to see him in, I think we're up to like chapter 7 was where we were going to go through this week, or 8. Anyway, um you see him softening when somebody is listening to him, when somebody is values him, and when he is interested in these bees. And the book mixes in education about bees and about how community is so important, and that each person has a job and that's how they thrive. And if somebody's missing, they look for them and they take care of each other. So it's a really, we're learning, and like I said, we're just into it. So
Yeah.
learning more about the value of honeybees. It's honeybees, guys. So super
Sweet.
interesting. Yeah, how she weaves the story of the music of the bees in, and how their music helps heal relationships. So
Oh,
cool.
that sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
And that's Wednesdays at 1:30, Thursdays
Uh,
at
Thursdays. Yeah, Thursdays at 1:30 for now. It may change, but for now that's
for now. It's
where it is.
Thursdays at
Mhm.
1:30
Yeah.
Central.
Mhm.
And then we have another group meeting. The What's Your Word group is coming up next week on the 12th.
Mhm.
You want to talk a little bit about that? That will be at 3 o'clock on Thursday, 3 o'clock Central.
Well, we had our What's Your Word or Your One Word for 2026 workshop in November, where we explored, how our creator can help us have like a focus in our development, our becoming in 2026, usually around a word. And so we're just going to continue to explore that. We've done certain activities of the exploration and journaling. We've done vision boards. We're just going to keep touching on it so it's before us. So we're going to have some imagery and just connect on our word, and maybe share if any of it is showing up or if it's totally changed for you than what you thought, and just have that community, that connection about the word, so that we can continue to be aware of it from month to month.
I love that. That's one of my favorite things, especially the imagery. I love doing imagery with you guys. It's
Yeah.
really cool.
Oh yeah. It's
Yeah,
very cool.
it's beautiful. Yep. So we got all of that going on,
Mhm.
and we're looking forward to moving forward and just continuing on this path. We still have our Tai Chi classes on Tuesday and Thursdays, right before Coach and Clear. And we're still doing Coach and Clear on Tuesday mornings at 11 and Thursday afternoons at 2 Central Time.
Mhm.
And
Can
Coach
I
and
just wanted
Clear.
Yeah, I want to share just really quickly a message from somebody who's been coming to Tai Chi who normally um, just stays in the background and doesn't say anything. But this person reached out and said, Beth, thank you so much for the class this morning, especially the pushing the bad out. My soul needed that today.
Mm.
Yes.
And this
Yes.
is coming from a person that doesn't say things like this.
That's really cool. Well, and that Tai Chi class is
like,
free. Yeah, it's just because I will be certified by the end of the year and it's my personal practicum. So you
Mhm.
guys take advantage and just enjoy learning some Tai Chi, and being this community of women is so fun to work with.
Yeah.
And the energy is so good as we're practicing Tai Chi. Everybody just walks away like with a sigh of relief and fresh, like that fresh air that we read about with the colors
Yeah.
of the dawn. It just feels like that. So
Creating that space.
yes,
know,
creating a space, and we bless the
our
space
lover.
between us, right? We really do when we come together.
Yeah.
So we walk away feeling, yeah, I know you want to get
I'm always
transplanted, don't ya? Yep. Well, we're doing it. We're doing it Tuesdays and Thursdays, Tuesday morning, Thursday afternoon. I hope to get some more information on the website today. So if you're not sure what's going on there, you can check the website. It'll be on there. If it's not on there today, it'll be on there soon. And the link to just go ahead and sign up, and you'll just be on the email list so that if we do cancel, because I am going to take spring break. So
Yeah.
whatever the spring break week is, you'll be notified and you'll be able to know. But just come. Yeah. And if you're not brave, just come and don't turn your camera on,
Yeah.
because we understand that. We have some girls that do. But over time, you're going to want to turn your camera on and be part of things, and be part of Coach and Clear too, because it is just such a lovely, healing community. So thank you for being with us today. And thank you for blessing the space between us. Let us know how that works for you as you move forward. And as you have experiences, we would just love to hear from you. We will see you next week when we talk about all good things again. Bye.
Bye.
Y'all.
I fill my mind with gratitude. I give thanks for everything, with every little thought I think. I can choose to be happy, choose to be free, moment by moment. It's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think.
Hey, thanks for joining us today in A Creator-Based Life. I hope you felt that compassion, mindfulness, and hope you came seeking today. You can find more of it at cmhcoaching.com or on Linktree/CMHcoaching. Of course, any social media outlet, we're there too. Because you felt the benefit and light in this message, please invite those you care deeply about to join us. Help us to create a ripple effect across the globe of compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Then we can create a creator-based life together. Have a great week, y'all. We'll talk to you soon.
Dude, I just fill my mind with gratitude. I give thanks for everything, with every little thought I think. I can choose to be happy, choose to be free, moment by moment. It's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think. Day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think. Whoa, day by day, I pave the way with every little thought I think. What you thinking? 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 You gotta watch your thinking. Watch your thinking.